My name is Pranami Nissan and today I am going to be giving you 5-star book recommendations. In this video I'll be mentioning 4 books that I have read, loved and enjoyed them, and I want to share these books with you so you might enjoy them and love them as well. So without any further delay, let's move into the books which I have given 5 stars. So the first book I'm going to talk about in this video is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Tyler Jenkins Reid. And in the 2 years since this book has been released, I read this book around 3 times and I cannot get enough of this book. I've never come across a person online or offline who's read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and did not like it. Everybody and their grandmothers love The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And until I live and read, this book is going to remain in the top 5 books of my entire lifetime. So coming to the plot of the book, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo obviously revolves around the story of Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. So Evelyn Hugo is a Hollywood movie icon. She decides to tell her story to the world at the age of 80 or 85, something like that. It's her superfluous, scandalous life story. And to share her story with the world, she decides to employ a underrated journalist called Monique. So Monique is invited to Evelyn Hugo's house where Evelyn starts her life story from 1950s, where she decided to come to Hollywood and where she decided to pursue her career as an actress. All her ruthless, ambitious ways and the unexpected friendships she forged in her career, the beautiful love stories in this book. And this is a must read for everyone. Even if you read this, read any book I mention in this video or don't read it, but please read this book. I promise you will enjoy it. Even if this book is not the kind of book you go generally, or this is not the kind of genre you read, I suggest you at least give it a try. You will be hooked into this book at the first 50 to 100 pages. This book is ruthless and full of ambition, and it's amazing. It's amazing. There are no words to explain this book, and even in Goodreads it has a rating of 4.5 out of 5 by around 140,000 people. So these many people can't be wrong. Please give it a try, and this is my favorite book. And 5-star recommendation for this video is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Ready Player One released in the year, I think 2016. Yeah, 2016-17, and it has received universal acclaim as soon as it was released. And I read it earlier this year. I don't know why I was so late to this. Actually, I do know, because I'm not a very science fiction-y person. I don't usually pick science fiction books, and but everyone on YouTube was recommending, and everyone was like, this is the top favorite book of my lifetime and all. So I decided to pick it, and I don't regret it, and I promise that you won't regret it too. So Ready Player One is a science fiction set in a futuristic world in 2044 actually. And in 2044 the world is a very ugly place. There's an epic struggle between good and evil, and the fate of humanity is all blah blah blah, the usual dystopian thing. So the only escape for people in this world to escape the harsh reality and the ugly world is a virtual utopia called Oasis. Oasis is basically a virtual reality, a video game if you could call it. So in this, every person on the planet has an account in Oasis. Everybody logs into Oasis early in the morning and just lives in it. You sit in one place, jack into your Oasis system and all, and live in the virtual world where there are 10,000 worlds. You can fall in love there, you can study there, you can live there. Oasis is just utopia. It's like Hogwarts for me. How I feel about Hogwarts, people in this book feel about Oasis like that. So the creator of Oasis, when he died, he didn't have any close relations to pass on his legacy, to pass on his will to. So he decided to have a huge treasure hunt. It's called Easter. It's called Easter treasure hunt. How you get Easter treasures like that. You get me. So this plot particularly revolves around a teenage kid called Wade, and he is obsessed with this treasure hunt. He has everything, every information, every clue, everything about this treasure hunt. That is his life. So there are basically 3 keys to find the treasure, and Wade is the first person in 5 years to find the first key. And this is his story, how he found the first key, second key, third key, and how he found the treasure ultimately. It is very, very interesting. It's like a modern day grail hunt. I enjoyed it very, very much because it has amazing references to all the 80s and 90s books and video games and movies. If you are a video game fan, this book is a must for you. I mean, if you are a video game fan and you didn't read it, I don't know what kind of video game fan you are. And this book brings out the nerd in every single one of us. It has amazing references to Lord of the Rings and all the nostalgic movies like war games and all. This book is very refreshing and keeps you on the edge of the seat. This book is very, I'm running out of adjectives to say, but please do read it. You'll enjoy it, and it's a very adventurous read. Out of 5 book we are going to talk about is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. You would know by so far that Dan Brown is my favorite author of all time. His books are amazing. I have all his books here, and this is the top of them. Like this and the Da Vinci Code, which I'm going to get to in a few minutes, are my favorite of all the books he's ever written. And the Angels and Demons by Dan Brown is the first book in the Robert Langdon series. So the plot revolves around a Harvard symbologist and a professor called Robert Langdon. He is summoned to a Swiss research facility to analyze a code, and this code is burnt on the chest of a dead scientist. So he has to go to the facility and decode whatever has been burnt on his chest, and when he discovers it, it's unimaginable. So he discovers that the symbol that has been burnt on skin is Illuminati. And if you don't know Illuminati is a medieval, centuries old group of well-educated scientists. It's not like a terrorist organization. It's like people who are who worship science. So for the scientists and poets and artists and everyone who worships science more than God. So this Illuminati is having a century-old vendetta against the church, and these people have vanished around 5 to 6 decades ago. And Illuminati, it seems, they have resurfaced and they want to take revenge for all the crimes that have been committed against them by the church. So in this book, Robert Langdon, along with the scientist's daughter Victoria, these both discover all the clues and try to stop the huge vendetta act planned against the church. And this book is mostly takes place in the Vatican City, and it gives you such amazing rich history of the Vatican, all the paintings and the artworks and all. This book is very informative and entertaining at the same time. You will not be able to put the book down. I had to finish it in one day. It was so good. It's around 500 pages, and I kid you not, this is amazing. You can't put it down if you pick it up. I mean, the first 50 books are going to be, first 50 pages are going to be slow, of course, because you're just getting into the world, getting to know the people. But once you get to know the basic gist of the plot, you will love this book. It has such amazing pieces, gems of information, and not boring at all. You won't even know that you're absorbing information. That is so good. And Dan Brown is genius writer. I don't know how he comes up with such ingenious plots, but this book is the best of Dan Brown's books, and I recommend you all to read it. The last and final 5-star recommendation for this video is Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I told you I'd be getting to this book. So Da Vinci Code is the first book I read of Dan Brown. I read it around 5 years ago, I think, and I was so mind blown by this book. Like so much of information and so much of thrill, and it was such a beautiful experience. I read it together with one of my college mates, and we had the most amazing time reading this book. And so I decided to buy the collector's edition of this book. And I what can I say about Dan Brown? Dan Brown is super cool. He's the coolest writer of all time. So the Da Vinci Code is actually the next book that comes after Angels and Demons, but you don't have to read Angels and Demons to understand Da Vinci Code. I read this book first around 5 years ago, then I read the Angels and Demons after 4 years, and I understood it perfectly. I understood it so well, and I reread it this year, and I was like, how did I forget how amazing this book is? Like, the Da Vinci Code is the second book in the Robert Langdon series. In this book also, the Harvard symbologist and professor Robert Langdon is summoned to the Louvre Museum in Paris to decode another dead body. Here the museum curator, is found dead in his own museum, and Robert Langdon is summoned to decode whatever clues are left at the crime scene, and along with the curators along with the French cryptologist Sophie, and Robert Langdon decodes such amazing puzzles all across France and London, and they discover the greatest truth of humankind. Like, this truth needs to be kept hidden by the church, but a group called another ancient organization called Priory of Sion is trying to reveal this truth to the world. So it's a fight between two groups of faith, and this book is going to give you the goosebumps. The climax of this book is so amazing. I couldn't stop reading the climax. Like, I vividly remember how mind blown I was while I was reading the climax of this book. And while reading this book, I can give you a tip that go on Spotify and select the Da Vinci Code music and listen to the music while you're reading to this book. It will increase your enjoyment by 1,000 times. And if you love the book, then you can buy the collector's edition. It has such amazing pictures and paintings and references from the art and the story in general. It's a worthy investment. I love the book, and I love the plot, and I love Dan Brown, and I recommend you all to read it. So these are the 4 books for this video, and there are many more amazing books. I'll get back to you with them. For now, these 4 books are it, and I hope you'll read at least one of them and you'll love it. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching.